We got some fun stuff to play with today. We're also be a Aventador SV, nice British Racing green 750S, multi-map on that one, big flames on that one. Let's get into it.
No, we going back and forth, but bitch better watch your tone. Hate me, give me headaches, but I love when you give me don't. No, we going back and forth, but bitch better watch your tone. Hate me, give me headaches, but I love when you give me don't.
Like a 765, except a little bit more comfortable. You get a lot of the same shit in the 765, but you get carpets, you get a little bit better road manners, it's a little softer. Right now we're bullying Flocky in his GTI. He's washing out. If you don't want to spend the big money for the LT and you don't care about the depreciation, this is a great option. You end up with most of the fixings that they did from the longtail car in the normal sports series. It's easier to live with. I'm not the biggest fan of the new display just because I like the old one that rotated up and at you. It was a little bit of flair and theater, but now the cluster moves with the steering wheel itself, so you can never block the display. I guess that's a benefit of sorts.
Would you say this is a race car on the street?
No, there is no such thing. There's a lot of people that would like to sell you something like that, but there's a speed camera in it. But it is one of the more... Hold that thought.
You saw that, right?
What?
That was a speed camera.
If you want something that feels as good of a super sports car as it can be, great steering, great brake pedal feel, very, very involving to drive, this is it. You do have to put up with McLarenisms, the electronics not working, the limited lifespan of every component in the car, strange British quality problems. But other than that, it's a lot of fun, you know? For 20-30 minutes at a time, they're really, really a lot of fun. The S's, 750S, because it does have carpet, because it does have sound deadening, you don't hear the rocks pinging off the tub the same way that you do in the 765. You can take it on a trip. It has luggage space. They finally, unlike the 720s, they fixed the Gorilla Glass, so we've got a carbon fiber roof panel.
And doesn't it feel like, I don't know, does it feel like it has more room than the 765?
No, you're just not sitting in bucket seats like this.
Oh, true.
Something nice about the 750S, they moved the nose lift to an actual button that's not on a stalk, so it's very easy to access. It's quite nice. Big fan. Good job, McLaren. Now we're going through a small German village. There is probably one speed camera per bush.
I'm in love. Is it a drug? Popping it up. Popping it up. Is it enough? Is it enough?
750S, for those of you that don't want to spend big LT boy money, is a body kit delete LT. Most all of the fun stuff that you got on the LT car, everything that they fixed from the 720 and learned on the Senna, ended up being translated into this car. So the new suspension accumulators, the twin fuel pumps from the Senna, the spicy camshafts, the better oil pump, everything, every little bit that makes this car not a bucket like a 720, you end up with for a fraction of the price of the 765. Now, it doesn't look near as menacing, and it's not as much race car-y, raw, you know, your life. But if you want something that's a lot more usable as a street car, 750S is a very good alternative, and they've been highly depreciated because all the first owners took an absolute bath on them. You've got body color painted front bumper, which is neither here nor there. It looks maybe better than 720, not as good as 765. Now, this, very different from 720. The rear is somewhat like that of a 765. However, I have taken to calling this the butthole because it looks like an anus. Diffuser is very similar to that of 720. The vents behind the rear tire are supposed to be like that of 765, alleviating the high pressure within the rear arch, but they look worse. So again, if you want 765, you want the aesthetics of that car, you want the high-speed aero stability, buy that car, spend the money. If you want carpet and you want less problems in a 720 and something that's actually not going to explode or cost you double the price of the car in maintenance, buy this. Power is never powerful enough. On a street car, let's be honest, the balance between power and grip and brakes and everything doesn't mean you want something that's exciting because you're on the street. Those of you that use this car on the track, which is a very small percentage of you, will note that all McLarens have too much power for the chassis. So we're going to increase that factor and pump up the fun. A car that's on normal US pump fuel is going to do between 770 to 820 wheel horsepower. Here we're in Germany, we're on 102 octane from the pump. It's going to be an 830 wheel horsepower car, 1,000 Newton meters of torque held flat so that the rods stay inside the engine, which is where we'd like them. No bay windows in the side of the block. And if you want to put injectors, you can run fully 85. Again, this car has the fuel pumps from the Senna, twin brushless pumps from factory, so you can run 1050s. With a map switch, you've got the ability to run the pump fuel, the E85, the race gas, all the flames are switchable, the pops are switchable. If your car is equipped with the factory electronic valves, we've got the accessory control that's integrated into the menu, so you can actuate that, as the car does not come from factory with a flat button. The big takeaway from this car is stock. It's not that exciting. Yes, it's fast. We know it's fast. McLaren's coming from the factory already wicked quick. But downpipes, exhaust, it sounds the part. And now with all the extra power and torque, you've got something that's going to light the rear tires up. It's going to make you smile, and it requires you as a driver in order to keep a hold on it. If you switch the systems off. If you keep all the systems on, you let it take care of you, it will still meter out the torque, and hopefully you won't end up in a bush, but that's up to you. Make sure that you don't f around on cold tires, because you will find out. One thing I do want to mention, we are now very proudly the worldwide distributors of Bristol Motorsports exhaust. This car right now only has the downpipes on it. The rear section is still stock. The fabrication for the rear section is finishing, so hopefully the next time you see it, it's going to be sounding a lot higher pitched. It's going to be very nice, titanium, Inconel. We have both of those options for the rear section. Next time that you see this car, we'll be wearing a rear section. We do have all of those options available from Bristol for Ferrari, McLaren, Porsche, all the hypercars. You see the SP2s, the SP3s, everything. You know, if you were a discerning customer, it is the best, highest quality exhaust that money can buy.
love when you give me don't. No, we going back and forth, but bitch, better watch your tone. Hate when you give me headaches, but I love when you give me don't. I'm in love, is it a drug? Popping it up, popping it up. Is it enough?
All right, we've made it.
We have indeed made it to Geneva. We've slept
2 hours.
1, maybe 45 minutes.
And you drove the whole way here.
I drove the whole way here. Well, these jack slept in the car. They promised me a nice, relaxing day in Geneva, and now we have to tune an SVJ, two 992 Turbo S's, both with map switch, a 600 LT, a 720S, and a GT3 RS. Splendid. Boys, pose the family photo.
So obviously there's a ton of crazy cars in here. Walk us through it. Let's start with this 720 in one of my favorite colors.
We have a McLaren Orange Papaya 720S. It's got some Novatech parts on it. All these cars that you're seeing or about to see are pre-tuned, so we're solving some issues for them. Car's already got downpipes, stock rear section on it, turbo inlets, and previous tune was a little bit lackluster. So this particular one, we're going to be cleaning up on a single map. This SVJ is also getting a single map, also pre-tuned. And then we have these two 992 Turbo S's. This one is getting everything, map switch, whole 9 yards. This one, single map, thank God. It's going to make it through 2 multi-map cars, and then outside there's a very nice, I think it's Fistral or Curacao blue 600 LT that's about to come inside. And
So that SVJ right there, should we remind them what happened last time we filmed an SVJ in Europe?
we're back in Europe with yet another black SVJ. This one's got a little bit of yellow shit on it as opposed to the red shit, but we're gonna run it back. It's gonna do exactly the same thing. Flames that are from here to the door. We have read literally everything, so we're gonna go cook up some files and then get the flashing, get the testing. It would appear that this car is a little bit low on oil, so every time I jump in a new McLaren, before I blow it, you know, a bay window in the side of the engine block, I check the oil. This one is below minimum, so we're gonna stop, get a liter, put that in, make sure it's where it needs to be, and then we're gonna go push the car. You should do this once a week if you have a McLaren. Otherwise, you too might be in jeopardy of bay windowing your engine.
How much oil do you think it needs?
Probably a liter. We're jackasses. We did not bring a small hex in order to take the oil fill off, so we're gonna go back to the shop, put this inside, check the level, and then go. All right, let's see how good I am. Yeah. Put that on? Yes. Now allow me to tell you all the reasons why I fucking hate P1 seats. Chiefly because you sit on your dick. We just put a half a liter in, run the test procedure, takes 2 minutes, car's gotta be at 90 degrees Celsius in order for it to run the test. You gotta be on level ground, which for the most part we are. And then assuming of course that we are A-okay, then we'll kick the tire and light the fire. If you beat the shit out of the car like I do this once a week.
That's what, a 30-second test?
2 minutes. Take 2 minutes out of your day or 100 grand out of your pocket for a new crate motor. You pick.
How did that feel?
Shitty. I think there's a boost leak on the inlet pipe. I hear it. It feels lackluster.
So what's the next step now with the boost leak?
You're gonna fix it. You're gonna open the engine bay and you're gonna fix the
No, you're gonna take the glass off too.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
You knew I was recording, huh? You miss winter?
No, I miss you.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Just wrapped up. Beautiful 600 LT coupe. Car stage 2 downpipes on this fuel here in Switzerland, 98 octane, doing about 20 degrees ignition. The weather is beautiful. The car's pushing like crazy. Got flames, pops, shots, everything that you want, nothing that you don't. I am very happy. Data looks beautiful, 20 degrees ignition. Boost is right where it needs to be. She's perfect. The sun is going down. We're gonna go be dickheads on the way to the Geneva. And that, boys and girls, is why we put exhaust on our cars. So they don't sound like that.